And we're live.
What's
What's
up,
up,
Bakir?
Barstow? How's it going, man?
Oh, going pretty good. Going pretty good. How are you doing, Baker?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm as all right as you can be after a performance like that.
Well, shall we tell the people what we're here to do?
Yeah. I think it's a classic post-match quickie, as we like to call it.
Post-match quickie. Post-LA Galaxy match quickie, if anyone got lost in the details.
Yeah,
By any chance. So, game just finished.
it did.
2-1.
I think. Yep.
2-1 to the negatory on our side. What a heartbreaker.
I mean, so we didn't watch this game in the same location, hence you know, the somewhat different format here than we normally do.
Slightly different.
Um, but like I was watching and the people I was watching with, I'm like, RSL not putting away any of these chances, like it's going to be your classic tale of, you know, don't finish them on one end, they're going to get finished on the other.
Get punished.
And that's what happened. I mean, let's be honest here. It's there was a stretch of time where we had I think we had the ability to walk away with a point at least, if not all three.
I'll take it a step further. I'm gonna say the second half of soccer in Los Angeles this evening was the best half of soccer we've played all season long.
Wow.
And
Yeah, you're
I'm trying to think how I'm wrong here. And I can't remember us play. I mean, we dominated the second half.
yeah. I mean, it I have no idea what Petke told those guys in the locker room at halftime, but I wish he would have told it a lot sooner.
All right, so let me ask you a question because I've been listening to and reading a lot of people's opinions that the first half was a very bad half. I didn't think it was that bad of a half. Yes, we
I
looked a little dismantled. We looked a little out of place on the defensive side. But God, offensively, I thought we looked pretty good.
um I no, I got to disagree with you on that one. I think we were so defensively scrambling the whole time that any offense we managed to generate. I mean, like I can't even think of like one proper like good look in the first half where I'm like, man, that looked deadly. Um, I think our fullbacks were just awful in the first 45. I think Herrera kept just getting danced around, and I mean, he had an awful game, and I don't think Toya was all that much better. Uh, Glad and Nedum, I think, had their work cut out with Zlatan, but yeah, that first 45 was garbage in my opinion. I can see why people think we didn't play as well as we would have liked.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think we played well. I just didn't think we played horrible. We didn't. There weren't a lot, if any, clear-cut chances up front. Sure, I'll give you that. But we looked comfortable in possession. It looked like we were not rushing anything. It just seemed okay to me. It didn't seem good. It didn't seem like a half of soccer I would like to repeat over and over. So don't get me wrong on that. But we didn't look bad, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we didn't ship like 5, 6 goals, I guess. Yeah, in theory it could have been worse, but I think the only reason LA wasn't up a goal or two in the first half was inability to finish on their end. I think of one very clear shot that they sent over the bar that I thought
Yes.
was extremely dangerous.
So let me ask you about
You just look like
your
go ahead.
opinion on Patna.
He did well. I think solid performance. He grabbed a few out of the air. He killed some plays that I think it goes back to last week's episode when you and I were talking, and I'm like, he's like 6'4". I think he's got a foot or something on Nick Raimondo. I think he used that to his advantage today. Like, dude was snatched him out of the air, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That I thought he did pretty well, especially in an atmosphere like that against a lineup like that. I think he can't really be blamed for either goal. First of all, second of all, that Zlatan goal, just a scrub goal, my opinion. And then tell me
Yeah,
this. Tell me this. How does he not get a yellow card?
because
with
he's
those
Zlatan, man.
antics right after that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
getting a little ridiculous, a little out of hand. I mean, come on. I've been kind of crapping on him over the week or throughout the week um, on our page,
Mm-hmm.
mostly for fun. You know, I was watching for some reason. I was rewatching his interview when he first came to the MLS with Jimmy Kimmel, and I
Oh
just remember,
yeah.
and it just fired me back up. I said, "What? What? Come on, man! I mean, I get it. A little ego, a little this, a little that. That's fine. But Jesus Christ, calm down, man. Act like you have scored before. And I like the guy. I've always liked watching him play, but it's getting a little ridiculous, a little bit out of hand.
Right. It's so like to me the Zlatan comments fall into two camps. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had that up. Um, the Zlatan comments fall into two categories. First one is like that's the Jimmy Kimmel, the "You're welcome, LA," all that crap. The just that's Zlatan being Zlatan. That's how he makes his bread and butter. Can't be hating. But then there's the stuff where he is actively ruining the game, in my opinion, and it's the stuff where he's in Nedum's face, screaming into Nedum. He did the same thing against, I believe it was Sonny,
Yeah,
last year.
last year I
Um,
remember that.
yeah, it's no. Any like I don't think soccer by any stretch of the imagination is a soft sport. I don't think we should sit here and like police people's feelings. But if that is an unsporting behavior, or whatever the FIBA, the or whatever it is, like,
Unsportsmanlike behavior, I think it
yeah,
is.
like dude, like you just got in a dude's face and you're screaming at him. You're sitting on a yellow. You've been at each other's throats the whole time. It's any other player in the league does that. Apart from like maybe like Wayne Rooney, Villa, whatever you want to call it. Maybe one of the Seattle dudes. Like that's a second yellow easily.
Mhm.
Easily a second yellow. It's a joke. It's a joke. It makes the league look dumb. It's also just like it's just jerky behavior, man. Just jerky behavior.
Yeah, you would think at some point he will calm down and realize it's not his first goal of his career. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what it seems like to me, and I get it. I get it. That's how he makes his bread and butter. Respect.
right.
You don't wanna crap on a man's ability to make a living. Awesome, but when you do it to your opponents and your fellow sportsmen on the field, that's when it gets a little ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That being said, in his defense, I've never scored a goal in front of 10 to 15,000 people, whatever they're at in
Right,
Carson
but he has
City.
scored literally hundreds by now. It should
Sure,
be okay.
sure, I get it, but maybe there's something to be said for that excitement and that thrill and that ha ha ha, I got the best of you. But yeah, it should have been a second yellow.
Yeah, but that's not why we lost the game. I
No,
do
no.
look. The league needs to take a stand and say, look, we get it. Maybe no one else, for some reason, in his career has told him enough is enough. But just call it the fair game. I'm gonna watch out for similar cards the rest of the season. And just so you know, I'm gonna make a GIF out of that move and post that every time someone gets a BS yellow card going forward.
I mean, you're gonna be a very busy man watching a lot of games because I think it happens. Like
No,
let's
I
be
mean
honest.
our games. Not I'm not gonna watch
Right.
all of them.
It's I think I don't know, man. Like he should have gotten. I appreciate the fact that the official got between them very quickly and diffused the situation. Also, net him not for just bashing his face in. Like,
And he looks
I
like he could.
yeah, no, Nedum was sitting there and just he did just have a goal scored on him, so that's very humbling, I would imagine. But also like sometimes RSL Nation be damned. I'm a man. I got to stand up for my pride and you pop the dude. I'm glad Nedum
Mm.
didn't do that because we're going to need him against Portland. But yeah, just it it was a very frustrating game to watch because that I think first 45 that's where you and I disagree all day. Just it was a tire fire. I think defensively we looked like garbage and we should have been down 2-0 by the half. Um, that being said, the second 45, we were the much better team and we were generating way more danger. Just straight up, we were much more dangerous.
Yeah.
Um, but we hit the woodwork. I mean, we
Oh
kept
my
bouncing off
God.
dude's legs. We kept, plowing it just left, just right, just over. Um, Shout out to the Galaxy keeper. He had a few amazing saves. But that was the difference. Like we had, I think, I'm gonna say conservatively 3 chances. I think there was the woodwork. There was kind of Damir's like big wind up one.
Yep.
And was it Rusnak that kind of had a good chance, or
Well, we had, yeah. I mean, Rusnak had a chance. Savarino created a really good chance.
I'm gonna say 3 there.
Even Nedum. Remember, Nedum got himself into a position for a pretty good opportunity there in the second half as well.
Yeah, and there were a few like set piece opportunities that look good. But I'm sitting there and I'm going, man, we got to bury one of these. We got to go up 2-1. We got to go up 2-1, and then Zlatan finds himself some space. Glad kind of gets that first touch away. I'm thinking, all right, they're going to clear this. Zlatan dances around Glad, or I think, yeah, Glad and Toya, and then no, it wasn't even Zlatan. Zlatan was the one that received the ball, and he just put it away. Like it was, I could have made that goal.
Yeah.
Nedum was nowhere near him, and it was just he literally just put it away. And I think that highlights the quality of difference in the two teams. Like I don't think LA outplayed us. I don't think they're like a marginally better team. I think if we play them again, I doubt we don't get points out of it. But that was enough to be the difference, the ability to finish. And I thought we were supposed to get past this with Sam Johnson. I thought, dangerous attack. We got Plata coming off the bench for crying out loud, but it just didn't happen.
So let's get into some of the details because we are trying to make it a quickie. First of all, Boateng, when the Boateng came on, I think I called it. I said, here we go. We're going to lose it. I didn't think it was going to happen the way it happened. It's just that Boateng has always had our number. I mean, I used to say this half jokingly. Actually, you used to say this half jokingly, or maybe not jokingly at all. If Boateng played every week against RSL, he'd be the league's leading goal scorer by a mile. Now I know he's not having a good year so far this year, but yeah, that was a disaster avoided. Damir, all right, I was getting frustrated with Damir literally seconds before he hit woodwork. I thought he wasn't contributing. He wasn't his usual self. He wasn't able to, I don't know what's the right word here. He wasn't able to insert himself into the game and drastically impact the flow. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to get this whole you watching games without me thing. We got to put an end to, because you come away with some really weird takes.
It just didn't do anything for me.
Just some really strange opinions. No, I mean, I think Damir was probably, as far as the attack, like let's be very clear. His role at the beginning of the match and his role post that first substitution, wildly different roles, right? Like it's literally different positions on the field. I think so. In my mind, I'm going there. Okay, Damir is really quiet, not seeing a lot of Damir on the ball. Where's Damir? Shouldn't Damir be generating attacks? Like, no, Damir's partnered with Kyle. Their job is to cover ground and wreck stuff when it comes, and he did that for the most part. I think he did that about as well as could be expected. Still not my ideal two. And I think that's more evident this game than the FC Cincinnati game.
This game could have used Everton so much. I was thinking that throughout the game.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think once Damir's role shifted and all of a sudden he becomes an attacking player, he kind of becomes that, I don't know, striker, attacking midfielder hybrid, him and Rusnak.
False nine.
Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. I mean, he was generating attacks. He was getting shots off goal. He hit the woodwork. I mean, dude was, I think when the opportunities weren't going in, you could see guys getting a little frustrated with one another, which was always kind of a weird thing to see. But Damir was in there. I can't look at his performance and like he did what was asked of him. Now we might disagree with what is being asked of him, but that's not him not doing his job.
Okay,
I think we should save that one for.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think he didn't impress me as much as he usually does. Now, this could be a matter of him being a victim of his own success, because hell, I expect a lot from him these days. I expect him to carry the team most of the times, right? I did think, and I tweeted this in the first half. I was a little busy in the first half tweeting. I
Right,
thought I was very impressed with Albert's play. I thought Albert did well. It looked
mm-hmm.
like old school Albert, the one that came in and originally or initially impressed us. Cool, calm, collected on the ball, distributing it very well. And this doesn't come easily for me, but I was actually a fan of what Corey Baird was doing, and I was also a fan of what Savarino was doing. I thought both of the wings, those three, so Albert in the middle and the wings, had a very good game. Now they
I think,
were
yeah.
always missing that last deadly pass. That's why Sam Johnson wasn't featured as much as he could have been. There was never that killer pass that set someone up to score a goal. But I thought that the build-up was very good until it got down to the last pass.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a and I think I also like think, okay, you and I watch the game together, we walk away with like a very similar, because we're talking about the game
As it's happening.
But so like at one point, I think Corey was on the ball dribbling, and it was like 2v2 or 2v3, and Sam Johnson was just booking it, and Corey just held on to it for like way too long, and he was obviously off at that point, and he ends up dribbling that into a few dudes, and it's that final. I think had this exact game been played again, and obviously we can't compare RSL 3 months from today versus LA Galaxy today, but I'm going, if that team had played together like a handful of games more, and that final pass is there, and that ability to read their guys and to know what they're expecting when they're expecting it, totally different game.
Absolutely.
But I think that's also frustrating. It's like we clearly weren't outplayed. Like you almost have, it's almost worse to lose this way.
In a way, but I'm looking at this from I'm looking at the long play, right? So the LAFC, the way they're playing right now, the way Seattle is playing right now, these things are not sustainable. We have seen it over and over and over again. There were about two teams that I can think of. They were completely dominant from first week to last week. Atlanta United last year, and how did that work out? And then Toronto FC a couple of years ago. They were completely dominating and dominant from day one to the last day, right? So it happens very seldomly. Much more frequently, it happens, from my memory at least, that a team does not so well and then heats up at the right time. So I'm looking at this from the long play. I don't think RSL is going to be in the contention for Supporter Shield this year. I just don't. We knew that coming into the season, and I think it would be silly to think otherwise at this point. Yes?
For sure.
But all I need us to do is get into the playoffs, secure a spot as high as possible. Actual positioning, is secondary, in my opinion. It would be good to have a home game. But if we get hot at the end of the year, that's all that matters. And the reason I'm not disappointed, obviously disappointed, I would love for us to start clearing that line, the red line a little bit. But the reason I'm not super disappointed is because, like you said, it seems like it's a matter of timing in a lot of these plays. In a few months, Baird makes that pass. Sam Johnson has an opportunity. In a few months, those crosses that are going to the far post are coming to the near post, because now we have a number 9. We're not used to crossing near post. A lot of these different things that I think can come to fruition. Obviously, we'd love the 3 points. Anyways, any other takeaways from you? And then I'm going to ask you, who was your man of the match?
Plata. I was disappointed. This is my man of the match. This is the takeaway I kind of wanted to briefly bring up. And it's really the only... from what I've seen, I'm disappointed by what Plata brings from the bench. I think he had a relatively okay game today. His pass, I think he's finally using his speed, thank God. I think he's like, okay, I've got 30 minutes. I need to make something happen here. And he's actually running, and, he's making dudes chase him, which I don't know why he doesn't do that more often. But his passing, and maybe this is one of those, he hasn't played with these dudes a full 90 in quite a while. His passing today was just garbage. I mean, I don't think he like his shooting and his ability to find the other dudes very frequently left me wanting.
Hmm.
And we can dive more into the substitution pattern
Yeah.
because I think it's actually you're chasing a goal and you're making a sub in the 92nd minute. Something's not okay there. And I'm not here to coach from my bed.
Right.
But that was kind of a weird take. As far as man of the match for me, seeing as it was a match that we lost and ultimately get 0 points with, I'm gonna have a little fun with this one. I'm gonna give it to Toya. Not for the obvious goal, but because he, out of the fullbacks this year, between him and Herrera, first one to score the goal. And, this goes back to me, your boy, screaming for some Toya on the left for a hot minute. It was also just a very nicely taken shot. So
You should basically get an assist on this goal, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, a hockey assist at least.
Yeah.
Seeing as this man of the match doesn't really matter, I'm going to give it to Toya. If it did matter, and if you're going to hold my feet to the fire, it'd be Savarino, but I'm sticking with Toya.
Yeah. For me, it's Savarino. It's easily Savarino. Most dangerous. He was dangerous from the first to the last minute. You can I remember Mike Petke's interview a couple of games ago. He was saying that he's been challenging Savarino to step up his defensive efforts more, and you can see that that's coming to fruition. He's
for sure.
Man, he's just nipping at some people's heels back there. Love seeing that. And then the only other option for me, I think Patna did really well, and Nedum for keeping his cool. Man, I know Ibra is supposed to be a black belt, but in that moment, I would have lost it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
right.
All right, RSL Nation. This has been another Scarf Life Quickie.
It's your classic. Hit him with the quickie.
Quickie. I think that should be a theme song. I've been playing with an audio file maker.
Nice.
And
we need to actually talk about that.
Just Audacity.
Yeah.
I can't decide if I want to sing as an opening or if I want to rap as an opening.
No, neither. We got to double down on the neither option hard. We should put all of our chips straight in the neither basket. Bro,
maybe we do a little longer on the Tuesday. Check it out. What?
Upper right here, upper 90. We've got the Ocean Save the Earth kits, all black, RSL. Fuka Sarajevo. No one's gonna know that one. Bosnian national team. That's how you do it. In the closet, hanging up.
Oh, way back there.
Yeah. Well, no one's gonna see this video, so that's good because we're doing audio files. But hey, beggars can't be choosers at the moment. Let's be sure to let the folks know that Tuesday episode's coming, not the quickie, the full one, and that we'll have something for them.
Yeah, buddy. RSL Nation's been a pleasure. 0 points today, but many to come in the future. Adios.
Good night.